Hello everyone, welcome to Lotus Heart Tarot. I'm so happy to have you here. We are going to dive right on in. Get a look at what is going on for Pisces, please Spirit. For Pisces, what can you show us for Pisces? What does Pisces need to know right now? What does Pisces need to know? Wow. There's something is changing here, Pisces, for some of you. You have, wow. Woo. This is very different energy than we have had the last couple of days. This energy, and keep in mind, these are general readings, and so take what resonates and leave the rest. This reading is clearly going to be about someone who messed up, who literally was like hedging their bets or was operating on assumption or even was operating strictly from their own point of view. And this person, it literally says on this card, I realize now how foolish I was to treat you as a mere distraction. Our connection deserved more respect, but I let myself and others treat it as insignificant. And that feels like the nutshell. You know what I mean? It feels like this person was like operating on some kind of false belief or some kind of like jaded, or their perspective was, it's like through their own eyes so much. They were not putting themselves in your shoes. And I think it's because, they may have made some kind of assumption about you or about this. How it's giving it to me is like, and this has come through before, but like a month ago maybe, or longer. I have no sense of time. It's coming through like maybe you're pretty, right? And so they think you're just another pretty girl, or maybe you're a highly accomplished or an academic. So they're just lumping you in with that stereotype. And it's like, you're a Pisces. Like, before you're pretty, before you're academic, before you're rich, before you're this, before you're that, you're a freaking Pisces. And it's just like, it's literally coming through to me like that in a very like endearing and like, I don't know how to say way. Like I just love that about you. Like, I just want to wrinkle up my nose and like give you an Eskimo kiss kind of thing. Like, you're just so cute, like you're just so different. You're just so special. Of course you're not going to go with those molds. Yes, like I applaud you. I don't know what this energy is per se, but this person's coming in and they're trying to make it up to you. This isn't for everyone. I just caution you. This is not for everyone. But this energy is, it's like, I don't know if this person was replaying events or even like, I'm even getting the energy of like looking at your social media page again in a different light, like seeing things differently and going, oh my God, it was all spelled out for me. And I don't know if it's literally like, looking at your Instagram or your Facebook or whatever, or if it's like looking at old pictures in their phone or kind of replaying memories. But it just feels very colorful and it feels very like, it's all there. It's all there for me to see. I just could not see it from the perspective I was in from the assumptions I was making. Like I put this in a category and then never revisited it. You know, I played it like it is that category, and I never let myself unwind it to see that, like, it's showing me a Tootsie Pop. Like, it looked like a lollipop, but there was a Tootsie Roll inside. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even know how to describe this, but it's almost like I feel this sort of sense of elation of, like, having stumbled upon a Tootsie Pop, but, like, not having recognized it and having kind of blown it, and then understanding that, you know, I may have a chance that at least there's some kind of connection there, but, like, I'm going to have to do some work. So, you know, this can be an ex, someone that you've literally had a relationship with, or this could be someone that you've met casually, that you've had conversations with, that maybe you friended on Instagram or Facebook or something, and you may have even forgotten about this person. I am getting there was an attraction there. There's an attraction there for both of you, I feel. But, you know, it's kind of like you may have also felt the same way about them. Like, oh, they're attractive, they're a douche. You know what I mean? Or like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. You may have dismissed them as well, not having known them. This feels like a challenge for someone. Like, I definitely gave the wrong impression. I gave the wrong impression because I had the wrong impression. And it's like maybe somebody wanting to make a new impression here. This is someone who was deeply entrenched in their way of being and in their kind of their belief system. It's kind of like someone who's seen it once, seen it twice, seen all they needed to see. You know what I'm saying? And there's just this person, though, it's like I almost feel like they had become rather jaded about life. They were even struggling to, like, release tension or to loosen up or to go with the flow, or it's like they'd gotten sort of tightly wound. It's like they even recognized this and they needed to kind of put some space or distance between them and these experiences that were contributing to it, or were, I don't know, winding them up tighter even. There's an excitement that this person has that is brand new. And I think they're trying to show up and make a good impression. Oh, wow. Oh, interesting. Wow. Okay. So, oh my God. Okay. Wow. This person, I think that, wow, you know, sometimes we think that, you know, if we protect ourselves, like, man, if I've had a string of bad relationships or I've had a string of really being let down by people around me, it doesn't even have to be like an intimate relationship. I've just developed the absolute worst headache since I started this reading. It's insane. Even my music is driving me crazy. I don't know what this is, but it's definitely related to your reading. There's just this energy of, like, you know, if I've had some bad experiences, or like if I've had a lot of bad experiences, or like I'm getting like one letdown after another, or even like actually needing a favor or needing something from someone, or needing someone to recognize that I'm not okay and no one is, and then sort of that sort of making you feel like, oh, nobody really pays attention to me. No one really notices me. No one really, I would notice if my friend was in this energy. I have noticed multiple times in the past or whatever when my friends have been in this energy, but like no one's recognizing it in me. And there's just kind of this energy of like, of just like being possibly even for some surrounded by people, but not any of it being very meaningful. And there may even be an energy here for some of you if this is someone you were previously in a relationship with, or someone that you started something with. It's like, man, Pisces saw me, Pisces understood me, Pisces considered me, Pisces cared about me. That one day when I was having a really bad day, Pisces noticed and Pisces said something to me. You guys are very intuitive. And, that may have been a catalyst for this person to change. Like, you have this detox energy here, and it does feel to me like going away from, like, continuing to invest or continuing to believe that something isn't what it is, or kind of even understanding that part of the reason I'm wound up so tight is because I'm giving so much energy to these things over here, and they're not coming back toward me. They're not refilling me. They're not reciprocating. And then it's sort of like, whoa, there's this hunger. There's this, Pisces, I think you were a light spot in this person's life. I think when they were happy, you amplified their happiness. And when they were kind of lost, you were a bright spot. Whether it's just that you like casually walked past their desk and smiled at them and tapped on their desk and said hello, or whether it was like they called you and felt better, or ran into you and you told them a story and they were like, oh my gosh, that's so funny. They loved your free spirit, your true nature, your ability to keep persevering and, constantly looking for the light, the lesson, the gift, the happiness, and the joy in life. It's like a seed that was planted that this person couldn't see until they were really down and out and had nobody, and realized that the person that they actually wanted was someone that they dismissed. Someone that they dismissed as pretty or smart or wealthy or highly accomplished or, some title, some label. And they realized, like, holy crap, there was a lot more than that happening there with Pisces. Like, Pisces isn't just another pretty face or another smart person or another, like whatever it is. You know what I mean? They were like, whoa. Pisces has that X factor, that thing that you can't teach, that thing that either you have or you don't. It's leading them to think in a totally different way. I think this person, cynicism possibly was really getting to this person. It just about life and people and just stuff. It's kind of like, well, this is the way it is and I've got to operate within the way that it is because that's the way that it is. Kind of a vibe. My head hurts. Like, this person might get migraines. We'll see how long this lasts. Man, yeah. This person, literally, this poker face and this girl with a snake are the epitome of this energy that I'm tapping into about their perspective or their lens or how they were wound up tight. They had been charmed. they had believed people when at face value, when people presented themselves in a certain way. They may have been trusting at one point. And it's like they learned how to have this personality or this persona that, you know, to where they remained detached because they found so much of life and so many of people were just this facade. So they like learned how to work that, or how to be what was required to be successful in that type of environment, with like backstabbing and like charm, like people that were so charming and seemed so put together and seemed so, I don't know, disarming even. And really you needed your arms up or your shield up with them more than anyone. And I feel like this person was just like, you know, when you have a succession of events where people, and I know you know this, Pisces, where people don't appreciate you or don't like recognize your goodness or your talent or your, just the fact that you're a multidimensional being. And they like you for a reason, because you're fun to have around, because you're pretty, because you're smart, because you're this, or because you're that. It literally has an effect on you, because you're like, oh, people only like me for this reason, or people want me for this reason. And it makes you feel diminished, right? Because the rest of you must not be as good as that part of you, because it's overlooked, because it's not sought after, because it's not appreciated. And, you know, it's weird how it happens, but there's this energy of, you know, just feeling like, oh, okay, well, this is what I'm good for. This is what people want me for. You know, the rest of me must be lacking, or I might not be as funny as I thought I was, or I might not be as, like, I don't know, it's like, it's just that someone outside of you doesn't recognize it in you, and it makes you feel like that part of you isn't enough or isn't good enough, or like you really have to be this persona or this personality. And it's like, I think it caught up to this person, and it may have caught up because they may have seen you living in your totality, not letting other people make you feel bad about who you are, or allowing other people to have that much, you know, say in how you feel about yourself. And it may have exposed this to this person, which may have kind of thrust them into actually feeling kind of bad about themselves. Also feeling bad about themselves because they themselves diminished those instead of insisting on being who they are the way that you have, I feel, Pisces, they let it go. It's like they let other people, what other people wanted from them, determine how they presented themselves instead of staying true to themselves. And that is a shitty feeling. It isn't a good feeling at all. Like, I don't know why this is coming through to say, but like on a much bigger scale, it feels like that's how a prostitute might feel about themselves. Do you know what I'm saying? You have this grounding and this healing heart energy. And I think this person at the core of their core does have a healing heart and does actually have kind of a big heart. And I think that they, you know, they fell for the charmer one too many times and were hurt one too many times, to the place that they sort of disconnected from this part of themselves that they're trying to reconnect with. And it feels like, Pisces, there's this recognition of like, whoa, you know, when you feel like there's no one out there that can match you or meet you where you are, you know, or can even see or appreciate these things about you. That's a very depressing feeling, right? But when you feel like, oh my gosh, you know, it's just now occurring to me that this person that I had met actually could see it and probably is also it, and is probably also potentially having a similar situation to me or circumstance to me, right? It can shift. You know, you can all of a sudden then sort of feel happy because it's like, wait, now I know that there could potentially be this outlet for this energy and this relationship to explore with someone who might actually be able to explore that with me. But I may have overlooked it, I may have mistreated it, and I may have you know, wrecked it, ruined my opportunity with it. But there is, I feel a sense of optimism of, I'm going to try because I now know what I know. It's now become very clear to me. And I feel like this person is grounding or, you know, is trying to sort of find their footing or their balance with how they're now feeling. This kind of like almost like realization that they're having about who you are and who you could be to them and how they originally saw you. And a lot of it was just based on their programming about how they were seeing themselves and how they were seeing other people based on their experience of people being one way and wanting one thing from them. You see what I mean? And so then when they were looking at you, it was like, that's what they were seeing, you know? Okay, you have the Three of Swords. You have the Nine of Pentacles. Wow. You have the Five of Pentacles, the Moon, and the Ace of Wands. This is a very interesting energy. So this person is... You know, Pisces, that Nine of Pentacles just feels like you. It just feels like this energy I'm tapping into of just, this may be even how they see you. Like someone who, it may seem effortless, it may seem lucky, it may seem like it's not a choice or like it's not a hard thing for you to them. Like you made it look so easy. You were so in alignment with yourself, even that the way you presented to this person was just, it's like seamless. Like they didn't see where, like, I'm getting the pretty girl cliff. So it's not just pretty girl though. It's like smart. It's like funny. It's like artistic. It's like, it's I don't even know how to really quantify it, but it's kind of like, oh, you're that girl, you know, or you're that guy, right? Where it's like, it's just coming to me easily, like pretty girl, like that's how it's coming across. But that doesn't mean this is only for female Pisces. But it's giving me a stereotype that's kind of, I think, I want to say easily dismissed, unfortunately. But it's just, it's like they just took you in and were like, oh, that's that. I'm getting this energy of like, they did see it. They were actually protecting themselves. Like they did see these differences or these ways in which you weren't exactly like that, or, you know, that deviated from that path or that persona or that stereotype. But it's like they were so programmed into not allowing themselves to become kind of like enchanted or, you know, under the spell of this charm from other people, where they realized very quickly that that's all it was charm. There was no depth, there was no realness underneath it. And it almost feels like, you know, when you do that to another person, you cut off their ability to kind of show you who they are, right? Because you've already decided and determined. So everything that you see, you make it work with what you have told yourself. You may have let this person go, Pisces, with this Five of Pentacles. I'm not sure. They may have let you go. The Five of Pentacles is an energy of, you know, our basic human fears that we all have, and that certainly is very prevalent here, and especially it's being drawn out by the moon. So it's like you may not have been very quick to reveal yourself. The moon is your card, Pisces, but it's also, you know, the moon reveals what it wants to, and it's careful about what it reveals. And so you may have faced this person with a bit of trepidation yourself, and or you are someone who is slow to let people in, or to let people really truly see your full shine. This could be for a lot of reasons, especially if we're talking pretty girl syndrome. You know, they say, you know, who talks bad about a pretty girl is the guy that can't have her and the girl that wants to be her and can't. And it's just so true, you know. And so you may have learned to kind of mask yourself, or, you know, not be who you are, but not shine all the way, or like show everyone the turned up volume of yourself, you know, the full presentation of yourself. And because this person was in the energy that this person was in, it sort of like stalled out there, or it couldn't, you know, we never got the chance to fully reveal here. And it may have been partly your fears, and it may have been partly their fears, and it may have been that both of you were in a space of, you know, protecting yourself because of your past experiences. And so it never fully opened up. It never fully shined what was possible. And with the Ace of Wands, though, there is this, but I still desire this. Or even maybe this was exactly what I wanted, but because of my own fear or my own way of kind of protecting myself from, you know, the cold, unfeeling world, I didn't recognize or realize when I was sitting in front of the moon. You know what I mean? And there is some suffering here with the Three of Swords. Let me clarify this. Okay. Wow, something is definitely changing. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So the Nine of Pentacles is being clarified by the Four of Pentacles. And it feels like, Pisces, you know, this is like, I've worked hard to kind of develop this really strong and sturdy foundation for myself. And I have to protect it. I have to guard it. I can't just let anybody in. You know, I have, you know, the Nine of Pentacles is an energy that you work very hard to get into. You know, I have my life set up in a way where I'm at peace and I'm stable and I'm centered and things are abundant and I can call things toward me that I'm really wanting, you know. And so I'm not just going to open up and let anybody in that's going to potentially upset the apple cart, because it took me a long time to get here. With this person, you have the King of Wands with the Five of Wands, which is just another way of saying it's like, I know what I want, but I'm very blocked. Like I won't go after it. And it feels like a lot of it's because they don't really believe that it exists. they don't really believe that it's out there with the moon and the Five of Pentacles. The Five of Pentacles is an energy of a scarcity mindset, of where it's like, you know, I'm locked out in the cold. It's a cold world out there. You know, I'm not going to find somebody that, you know, really truly wants the same things I am, or is as capable as I am, or is, you know, I just haven't found that. And so I don't really believe it's there. So I know what I want, and I may not be willing to really compromise on it, but I'm also under this belief or this impression that it isn't there, or it, you know, it can't be found. And that is this person's blockage. And that when that is your subconscious belief system, right, with the moon, that it isn't there and it doesn't exist, then when it's looking you right in the face, you don't see it because you believe that it doesn't exist, and that is what's ruling your decisions. So this person, you know, really didn't think that it existed, and that's what blocked this situation. That's what blocked them from seeing it and from going for it. But there has been a significant change here, and it feels like it's due to this person's suffering, wow, and potentially them learning to love themselves with the Ace of Cups, or to heal themselves back into a space where they were whole and complete without, you know, this scarcity mindset. So this person, you have the Two of Pentacles with the Ace of Swords, the Seven of Wands, and the Knight of Swords on the bottom of the deck. This person, I feel like, you know, there's a certain amount of, I'm not sure if I can trust myself. Like, it almost feels like this was such a deeply entrenched point of view that what they wanted didn't exist. That it really has colored the way that they think about things. And it's almost like they may see themselves as a hopeless romantic. Like, it's interesting because I'm getting like the decades of the 40s, 50s, and 60s. That could be significant as in when this person was born or something, but it's coming across more of like a hopeless romantic, or, you know, someone that believes that life can just be that simple, or, you know what I mean? It's giving me old-fashioned, like, I don't know what kind of energy this is. And it's like tripping them out, because it's like, am I just this hopeless romantic that right as I'm about to give up, I just can't let myself give up, that I have to believe in it again? And so I'm putting this faith in something that, you know, for some of you, they may not know you that well. For others of you, they may have actually dated you, and they may know you kind of well, but it's also this idea of, we didn't explore that, or I didn't have this attitude, or I didn't give this opportunity to the situation before. So, you know, I could just be fooling myself here. And it feels like clarity, but I'm second guessing it, that it could just be what I hope, or what I wish, or what I want. So with the Two of Pentacles, it's sort of keeping them in this place of not necessarily taking action, but kind of the breakthrough is happening, and it is becoming clearer and clearer. I think this person doubted the breakthrough in the beginning, but I do feel it is becoming clearer and clearer. Even with the Seven of Wands, it's like they tried to resist it. They tried to be defensive against it, but it's like you kept standing out as this like pillar of truth, of like, no, this is what it is. And it's like there is some way that this person, either by replaying memories or conversations that you've had, or looking at your social media or something, it's like even as they try to resist it and look for proof against it, they're finding proof for it. You know, it's like this candle is like this one wand. It's like that Ace of Wands of like, this is what you wanted. This is the pillar and the beacon of hope that you prayed for, that you asked for, that you wanted. This is what you were seeking. And it's really getting within this person's head. And I mean, even if you just look at this Knight of Swords energy, you know, the spiral indicates like, you know, going inward for answers. And the brain is like, you know, representative of our thinking mind. And you see everything is lit here. The light bulb is on, the sword is up. You know, there's this net casting over the world, and it's like I'm looking at the whole world and I'm seeing it very clearly, and I'm still seeing you this way. You know what I'm saying? And it's even becoming more clear to me. And with the Knight of Swords, it's like I feel as though I need to take fast action. I need to act very quickly. I need to say something. It's like, even when this person realized it, they didn't want to realize it. Man, what is this Ace of Swords, Two of Pentacles? Okay. The Page of Wands. This is what they want. This is the journey that they were hoping for, that they were waiting for. What is, yes, the Queen of Wands. 1,000,000%. The Two of Cups. Yes. My God, you guys, seriously. You got that Seven of Wands being clarified by the Queen of Wands. This is who I want. This is what I was looking for. This is what I was seeking. What I was seeking was also seeking me. Like, oh my gosh, you know, with the Two of Cups here, it's like this could be a healing connection. This could be the real deal. This could be everything that I wanted. With the Page of Wands, clarifying the Ace of Swords and the Two of Pentacles. The Page of Wands is the one that makes the choice to go on the adventure, to do the thing. My God, you have the Ten of Pentacles, the Chariot, and the Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, this person is, I feel they're working on themselves. I feel like they are really, this is giving me this phone with this notebook. It's giving me almost with the green, their person is green. It's giving me this vibe of someone who, you know, I feel like, oh my gosh, like whatever amount of distance is between you and this person, or disconnection that exists between you and this person, it almost feels to me like they are really trying hard not to be jealous, or not to have like knee-jerk reactions to what they cannot control. This is someone who likes to be very much in control, likes to have an agenda, likes to have a plan, likes to have a strategy, likes to be like, okay, yep, I've got this under control. And I think they're not used to feeling this way. It's almost like when I had my kids, and it's like my heart was walking around outside my body, and they could like be hurt, and it would hurt me more than me actually physically being hurt. You know, like my kids still laugh to this day. If they bleed, I cannot look at it. It hurt, like my heart chakra erupts. It just, I feel like I'm going to have to be hospitalized just seeing them be injured, you know? And with the Eight of Pentacles here, this is like, it feels like someone who just, it's like they woke up and realized that kind of this beacon of hope, this what they always wanted, what they were always, look how old-fashioned he looks with this like polka dot shirt even, and the old phone, and the like, there's something old-fashioned about this. And it may just be this person, like deep down inside, they may actually be a bit old-fashioned. I'm also getting like a heavy influence of a grandparent here, potentially. But also just this energy of, I'm not used to feeling this way about something that is not in my control. And like, maybe there's someone who's highly accomplished that like, okay, if I want something, I just put hard work in, and then I know for sure I'm probably going to get it because that's what happens when I put hard work in. But there's something with the guy being green that is telling me that he's having to fight all of his normal reactions to not be like overbearing, or to not be just like coming on too strong, or like to keep himself focused and centered. And it is also like, I need to put the work in, or I need to put the effort in. I can't just come out like both guns blaring and expose all of this that is inside of me. I need to come across like someone with a plan, someone who you want to join up with, someone who you can see yourself crossing the finish line successfully with, someone that you can build with, and like on a day after day basis, not someone who's racing for the finish line, you know, who's like, okay, you're mine and I'm taking you and da 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 da. Like they're fighting this urge. Yeah, my God. You have the Emperor coming out to clarify. Wow, and the Beyond. Wow, oh my God, with Judgment and the Wheel of Fortune, all major arcana. Man, oh man, oh man, you guys, this is intense. I don't know what to say, but you have the Eight of Pentacles with the Beyond and the Emperor, and it's like, this person, the Emperor is, you know, this person's sense of control. This person kind of running a tight ship and normally having it all together. You may be dealing with an Aries or a Scorpio or a fixed sign here, or a Cancer. But there's just this energy of, how do I want to say it? Like, I am normally very put together, or very even like reliable, or I give the impression that, you know, it's not even that I give the impression, I basically live my life in an unflappable way, so that, you know, nothing really throws me for too big of a loop. You know, I kind of just keep it all under control. And this is making this person feel like there is something so far beyond their control. Something, you know, it's like with my kids, I can't keep them from getting hurt, you know. I remember when my daughter was trying to learn how to do the monkey bars, and she didn't want to learn at school because it would be too embarrassing. And so my son and I, we tried to conspire with her to like help her, you know, achieve this accomplishment, because it was really important to her. And so we would take her to the park. There was this like park in the woods by where we lived, and we would take picnics and we would go to the park, and we tried not to put pressure on her about like learning the monkey bars, because she was never somebody that dealt really well feeling like everyone was watching her and everyone was expecting her to be successful, because she was always very successful. And so we just kind of like do the thing, and then we'd see she'd be over there trying, and she fell off so many times I cannot even. And she actually even like really messed up her thumb one time. But just watching her, and even trying not to watch her, but just like out of the corner of my eye, and seeing her fall down and seeing her get back up and seeing her get frustrated, and it was so hard. And I know it was hard for my son too, but we just sat with her while she did it, and she finally did it, and she was so good at the monkey bars eventually. But it feels like that with this person of like, you know, it's like I don't want to look, but like I have to look, because I keep wanting to say like I love this person, but I feel like, you know, for some of you there may actually be love, but for others of you, it's just that this person represents that hope for me. This person represents that that potential, that like what I had actually given up on, or what I thought wasn't possible, is actually possible, and it's making me feel undone. And the fact that I don't have this on lockdown, or I haven't figured out how to navigate this space, or I haven't taken it, I haven't, you know, done something about it, is making me feel really undone. But it's also, it's like it goes beyond almost anything that I've really tried to do, because it's another person. It's not like a job or a degree or the monkey bars or something like that. It's like, you know, it's not in my control. And so how I approach the thing, how I come across, how like suddenly all these things matter to this person, and they have been this sort of like carefully curated version of themselves for so long that like wanting to be themselves, you know, just truly and authentically almost feels hard. It's pushing them beyond their comfort zone. And it's because this connection is like beyond anything that they really were even thinking or hoping for. I am also getting like, when this person sort of thinks about having your attention on them or your acceptance or this thing come together or something, the happiness or the joy that it inspires, the light that fills them, it is so, it alone almost transforms them. It alone pushes them to see things in a different way and to even see themselves in a different way. And I feel this like humble, honored feeling, okay? With Judgment, there is this energy, and this is with the Chariot. This is where, you know, they're very focused on getting you to decide to pair up with them. To give them another chance for some of you. They need something to change here significantly. The Wheel of Fortune is on the bottom of the deck. And it is just, you know, it's like, I need to inspire this. I need to rise up. I need to rise out of this like self-imposed prison and death thing that I put myself in when I believed that all anyone would ever want from me was this one part of my personality, or that I had this one thing to offer. You know, I need to break myself free of that, rise above that, you know, and be myself again. Embrace this hope completely, which is very scary for them. Okay. They may be realizing that it's also scary for you, and that it always was very scary for you. They may be realizing, yeah, that your history isn't perfect either. Yeah. You have the Hermit here with the Six of Cups and the Four of Cups. This is like this person, either through the conversations that you had, your social media, like I said, whatever, however they're now looking at you. And potentially what transpired between you. They're starting to realize that you may also have been a bit jaded or a bit cynical or a bit, you know, you may also in your past have experienced some kind of rejection. Or, you know, people only wanting you for this or for that. And they may even be kicking themselves, realizing that they treated you the exact same way. Or fearing it. It's like they are looking back on what transpired between you and how they handled it. And they are heavy with it. Heavy with it. They may feel like if they miss this opportunity, it is their own fault. That they did something, or they treated you a certain way, or just even making that assumption. Although I do think that it is more than that. Will be the cause for what happened here. And it's like when they look back, there may be these really pleasant, happy memories, but then there are also these like, oh man, and then I did this, and then I did that, and then I said this, and then, you know what I mean? So it's like this energy of like living a happy time and then realizing that it's laced with this assumption or this, you know, not being their highest and best self. I'll just say that. They've spent a lot of time looking at this. They have spent time really asking themselves, what do I want? Again, with this lit candle here, it just is like playing through all these cards, and it does. This is the same deck, you know, but like, it's giving me like, there's one true thing. There's one thing that keeps holding out my hope. There's one thing that fills me with light. And it's this, you know, it's this hope that I have when it comes to this connection. And it's causing me to step into my power. It's causing me to want to use all the tools that I have to make it happen. Wow, High Priestess on the bottom of the deck. You're coming out all the way in this reading, Pisces. So we have the Three of Cups in reverse, and it's interesting because on here it says exclusion. And I've got that feeling before with that telephone card. This person wants to be exclusive. That's what they want. They don't want you out there free to be picked up by anybody else, or they don't want anyone else free to see in you what they see in you. And you know, this person, they want to rush in. They actually feel this literally says unstoppable here on the Knight of Needles, which is the Knight of Swords, and you have the Seven of Matches, which is the Seven of Wands, which we had earlier, right? Which was that beacon of hope. And even here in this card, there is this one match that stands out front of all the others. There's just this sense of like, now that I see it, now that I know it, now that I want it, now that this is my beacon of hope, I want to rush toward it. With a High Priestess on the bottom of the deck, there's just this energy of like, they're really not sure. You've played it very close to your vest. You haven't really let them see how they've affected you or what they've done. Or, you know, you've only let them see what you are willing to let them see. Like, I'm getting that with this High Priestess and with that Moon card. It's like, you only reveal what you're comfortable revealing. So what you reveal is based on the safety and security that someone else makes you feel. And when someone treats you in a way in which, you know, you're just pretty, or you're just smart, or you're just this, or you're just that, you key into it. Whether or not you consciously take that in and say, oh, they're treating me this way, it doesn't matter. You are intuitive. And that's what the High Priestess and the Moon both say, is that intuitively you only reveal the part that is safe, considering the vibe that you're getting from this person. And so you are more a responder than a driver in this situation. In other words, like, you're just responding to the way that they're treating you or the impression that they're giving you. You're not saying, okay, let's drive forward. Okay, let's have more. Okay, let's do this. You're just reacting. No, I don't want to say reacting, but responding. This person's coming in quickly to offer you something. And it's like they really want you to know. Man, and just like that, you guys, I got relief from my headache. What in the world with this? This may be just weighing very heavily on this person's mind. Like, my head was in a vice shortly after I started this reading, and now I'm doing much better. Okay, let's see. If you're dealing with a water sign, if I had only known then what I know now, honest, I can't stop thinking of you. You were so unexpected. If you're dealing with a fire sign, if you don't know who this is, this person could still be coming in. Sometimes we see that with tarot, that the energy is like, could be 6 to 8 months out. So don't worry, you know. If you're dealing with a fire sign, you deserve more. Hopeful, the changes are real, and I am choosing you. Okay. I would just say, if you're dealing with an earth sign, the cards flipped and stayed in the deck, which just makes me feel like someone is, you know, they're thinking these things, but they're not ready to say them. Okay, if you're dealing with an earth sign, you have stuck. Okay, I want to talk to you. I regret how I handled things before, and I'm working on myself. Yeah, that checks out. If you're dealing with an air sign, you're getting wishy-washy. I am overthinking everything. Be patient with me, please. Secret and passion. All right, guys, this is what I have for you today. I really hope that it helps. I hope it brings you some peace and clarity. If it does, let me know. Like, share, subscribe, comment. I do so love to hear from you guys. Thank you for your amazing comments yesterday. You guys are so generous and thoughtful, and just when you tell me, like, just, I don't know, it's that you make this a very rewarding journey for me, and I am very grateful, and I just want you to know that. All right, I really do love you guys, and I really do hope that you get your dreams. You know, I really want that for you so badly. All right, until next time, you guys, I send you off with all my very best. Always, always, always. Bye-bye.